Hey guys, Dave here. We're getting our YouTube channel kicked off at Speed El Jefe 75. Today we're really going to focus on doing a comparison video of the Pro R and the Speed. Really want to show you guys the differences. I know some guys have done this before, want to give you our take on it, and we're not really going to be saying which one is better, which one isn't. It's really just to show you kind of the design differences between the two, what they're like, how they are, functionality, end user, and then at the end of the day, you guys can decide what's looking best for you. So let's start this off with the cage. Pro R is a 2-inch cage with some gusseting welded in. It's got a metal roof. It's got an A pillar, B pillar, then towards the back. See, the welds are okay. Can't really see the beads. A little bit of splatter. Looks like they spliced some tubes in there. Same with the top. I'm not sure the wall thickness on this. See, it ties into the back. See right here, it looks like a bolt-on point. It's got a little spoiler in the back. Spots here, maybe for some accessories. Little slag. Welds look okay, but they really don't look like a weld. You don't see the bead. Some gusseting here. Some more gusseting. Right there again where they splice the tube. Comes down and connects for a B pillar. This, I think, could have been done better. But once again, I'm just really showing you guys an up-close look of the cage. There's no B pillar, and there are no intrusion bars. And the cage is awfully tall. This car sits close to 6'8" tall. Extremely tall. All right, guys, here's our comparison of the Speed El Jefe cage. Look at that. You can actually see the beads of the welds. You have your front intrusion bars. Cage is nice and low profile. I have to say it fits in my stacker beautifully. Speed also incorporates, not only is there an A pillar, there's a B pillar for added safety. Once again, look at those welds. Look at that support. Move along. There's your B pillar, your C. You have your cross bracing in the rear. Everything is gusseted, and you can see the beads of the welds. Really like that. Actually looks like someone went through and welded it. Now keep in mind, this car is all welded by robots. Inside, you have your center spine for support. You have your rear crossbar between the seats. Absolutely love that there's a B pillar there. Your intrusion bars, and it doesn't block the view whatsoever. And the nice thing is, it's still fairly low profile, so if you have any clearance issues with your trailer or toy hauler, the Speed may fit just a little bit better. All right, so up next we got the factory seats. They're comfortable, solid mounts, all vinyl, good for water, padded, kind of a hard headrest. Seat belts are nice. Some of you guys will want to swap those out for aftermarket. I saw some jet trim seats over the weekend at Morgan Motorsports, and man, those were beautiful. Here again, back seats, very roomy. Vinyl again, nice seat belts. 4 full-size adults can easily fit in this car. All right, next we're going to cover the seats. I do have the El Jefe RG edition. So the seats that are in my car, the tall wide, they are Alcantara or suede with cross stitching. I do have an upgrade. I have seat heaters and I have the air cushions. And what's nice with the RG upgrade is the seats are carbon fiber. They look beautiful. Absolutely love that carbon fiber race look. The rear seats have a carbon fiber wrap. So they are not a true carbon fiber. I found that out recently. I was a little disappointed. I wanted full carbon fiber seats. I don't know why they didn't do that, but it is a wrap. Not the end of the world, but the seats look nice. Put my two daughters in the back. You have your 5-point harnesses with a round latch. That's pretty cool. Flip it and everything breaks loose. Nice and wide. My seat is all the way back because I'm tall, but you can fit 4 adults in here. Look at that on the seat. Just looks beautiful. Once again, the cross stitching, 5-point harnesses, nice and wide. If you're a big guy, you want the tall and wide seats for sure. So we're looking at the tires. It's a 32-10-15 by Maxxis Rampage Fury. Nice black rim by Polaris. Looks like an almost negative offset. Nice good traction on the rubber. Tires on the Polaris do look really nice. I'm not sure the wear on the street or off-road as we mainly ride Glamis, but good amount of tread on there. All right, next we're gonna do tires. Speed has their own tire, 32-10-15. It's got nice tread. I have noticed it's a soft compound tire. I don't do too much off-road or street. They seem to be wearing okay. Probably only have about 200 miles on the street. Look nice. Black wheel. The RG edition, once again, does come with a bead lock, and that's about a 0 or negative offset. It's a flush face. Keep that tire track true to 77 inches. Speed has a very nice tire. All right, so to talk storage, as you're sitting in the driver's seat, you got a little trunk space here that's nice. You got a small little compartment there. There was a bigger hole up here, but we filled that with a radio. 2 cup holders up front and 2 cup holders in the rear. So good amount of storage up in the cab. Nice that the compartments look close to watertight. They have a little lip on them, so they seal well. And then in the back, we decided to add a plastic trunk, which really fills the space nicely. It's fully waterproof, so we can put tools, bags, jackets, things like that, and keep it out of the elements and nice and secure. And it looks factory. All right, so here we are to discuss storage. I did do the double dash. Nice, really big glove box in here. Plenty of room to put stuff. I usually keep my registration in there. The wires for the intercom with rugged. I have a small compartment down there with the USB 12-volt cigarette lighter. I have the cup holders as well, the 2 cup holders, and 2 cup holders in the rear. Right here, I have it out just so I can access my battery, but nice little storage compartment there. So keeps it nice and sleek. Also, the doors all have their own storage compartment, which is nice. Then I went ahead and added the speed trunk. I may be adding a second one for more storage, but it's great to put a tool bag. I always keep an extra belt and a pry bar, and then I have the speed cooler that goes here as well. All right, so here we got the gauge cluster. It's like analog for your tach and speedometer. It is digital in the center for your park, 4-wheel drive, your fuel, which is nice. There's a few modes you can switch to there with your miles, your trip, your volts. Definitely some nice digital features. Over here, the Polaris Ride Command is pretty cool. The GPS feature, this part is really nice. I do like that. It pairs to your phone. It Bluetooths to the PCI radio. Everything interconnects really nice. You also have your radio controls on the steering wheel, as well as this is your suspension modes. This is your O button. Press that, locks up the shocks. Everything conveniently located. Good size steering wheel. Good visibility. Looks great. So next, we got the gauge cluster. This is where I think speed really shines. Right here, we have a bunch of different modes. This is my favorite screen that I like to drive in. You have numerous screens. You can mirror your iPhone to the screen. Oil pressure, oil temperature, tranny temp, front and rear diff. I also added the digital bundle, so I can do tire temp sensors, tire pressure sensors, as well as belt. It has a rear camera, also has a rear and a front camera. A few more options I think they're gonna be adding there. I think there's about 6 or 7 different screens. And then what's nice is I threw in the passenger dash. So if I'm doing a speed run, really trying to pay attention, doing some testing, want to know where my boost is, something like that, I can throw a passenger in the car and they can see everything right in front of them. Or possibly with the mirroring, I want to see if I can throw some Baby Shark or maybe Paw Patrol or something for my daughter when we're out taking a ride. I haven't played with that yet, but I plan on to. Also really nice with speed, push button start. Guys may say mine doesn't work all the time. That's because of voltage. I'm gonna get that fixed. All the switches conveniently located. Everything there, ready to go, right at your fingertips. Also have the kicker stereo down below. I have the rugged and the intercom. So everything easily accessible right there. Super bright, easy to see at night. Absolutely love this digital dash. All right, so here we're gonna look at the suspension. I believe the Pro R is 74 wide. We have done NTS suspension. We have upgraded the lower forks. We have put limit straps on the car. We've also changed out the springs. You can see it's close to a center mount arm. The axle does run through the shock. The steering is also located in the rear. Wanted to show the reservoir size. Looking at about 2.5 inches. Get that viewed in there right. About 2.5 inches on the reservoir. Nice stainless steel brake lines. You have your front sway bar. Real nice and clean. Come to the back. You have about a 4-foot trailing arm there. Once again, same size reservoir. Good size shock. You do have the link bars in the rear. It is on a lot of Polarises. I think that's their main design. Can-Am has some similarities to it. There is a nice arc to create some good ground clearance there, but still a lot of moving parts. Nice solid axles. Everything looks welded up nice. That arm is super beefy. We did do the MTS suspension and the MTS sway bar links as well. And there are factory some mud flaps on the trailing arms, just help keep debris probably out of the wheel bearings and disc brakes. All stainless steel lines on the rear as well. And your calipers right in there. Stainless to hard line, which is nice. And then back to a pivot point being stainless. Now for what I feel really makes the Speed shine is the suspension. The car is 77 wide. It has a true A-arm design, very similar to what you'd find in a one car or a trophy truck. You have a box trailing arm. You have hydraulic steering. Your steering links are in front of the tire. Look at that, almost exactly in line with the axle. That's what we call perfect geometry. Robbie Gordon has been designing suspension for years, and I really feel he knocked it out of the park here. And what I think is really cool, I'm gonna grab a tape, is the size of the shocks. So when you guys watch my video on the weight comparison of the Pro R, look at all the added features Speed has. Look at the size of those shocks right there. We're gonna measure them here in a sec. Look at that A-arm, absolutely beautiful. The geometry is perfect. Everything has its place. Around to the side. Front end is extremely symmetrical. You have your sway bar down in there, connects onto the front diff. Shocks look awesome. Finned reservoirs with the Speed logo, laser etched, adjustable compression and rebound. Going to the rear, same setup that you'd find on a Funko, a Tatum, a 1 car, maybe a 10 car, a true trailing arm setup. Great geometry. Looks wonderful. Look at the size of those trailing arms. You have no extra link bars. You have great ground clearance. You have nothing getting in the way, nothing to hit a rock. Ground clearance is awesome. Let's check out that reservoir. I have not measured it yet. Looking at, a little hard to tell in the video. It's about a 3-inch reservoir. 3 to 3.5 inches. It's like close to 3.5 inches. Wow. They are massive. Everything's double shear on the suspension. Trailing arm tucks right in. You have your sway bar. I have the mounts for the speed jack mounted on my arms. That's what those little silver spots you see right there. I can hook the speed jack up to those lifting points, pick the car right up. It's extremely convenient. There is some adjustability on the sway bar as well. And that stance just looks gorgeous.
Right at 78 inches.
78, look at that. Wow. And we're gonna look at our overall length. Say, more or less right there. What do we got?
Right at 14 feet.
Ah, 14 feet, so it's the same length as the Speed. So similar length front to rear, but Pro R significantly taller. So if you guys have a toy hauler with a bed in the back, that may be something to consider.
And that's a stock cage.
Yep, that's a stock cage. I do know the aftermarket cages come down a little bit smaller, so we're just kind of comparing stock on stock. All right, so we also want to show you guys the height on the car. It's fairly settled. We did just have it on jack, so it may be slightly off, but we're looking at about 68, 69.5 to 70 inches is the height on the Speed. And then your overall length, for you guys trying to fit it into a toy hauler. How are we looking on the front right there? So overall length to back bumper, you're looking right about 14 feet. So 14 feet front to rear and about 6 feet tall. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you like the content that you saw. We're going to be producing more. Really going to build a channel focusing on UTV, primarily in Glamis. We're going to do boating and flying as well. So thank you for watching. Look forward to making another video.